Hi, it's Jess, your intuitive reader, mystical artist, budding astrology student, former school teacher, and somewhat dicey oracle. Today's message sparked from a tarot challenge that I've been participating in, and the question was, what is a message from your grief? As soon as the card presented itself, I knew it wasn't about simply my grief, but more of the collective. In fact, I felt that so strongly that this is what came through. Open your eyes. Open your eyes to see your glittering reflection amongst your hot lava tears. Look, you're still standing somewhere in the middle of it all, still leaning in towards life. And one of the reasons I knew this card was for the collective was I was really surprised that I was steered to this particular deck for this question, and that can happen sometimes. I try hard to pay attention to all of my decks. I don't want anyone to feel left out in the cold and neglected, and I want to make sure that the energy is staying fresh with all of them. But I am sometimes surprised as to which one Birdsong calls out and says this one right now. And once the card stepped forward, I could see why. It's kind of an unusual depiction of the Eight of Wands. And if you're watching currently right now in August of 2019, you may resonate when you look at this card, and I'm discussing hot lava tears with the pressing news. I mean, there's so much pressing news, so many pressing issues right now. But this card itself, the imagery, kind of speaks to the burning of the Amazon. And of course, with everything that's going on in our neighborhoods, in our countries, across the globe, around the globe, of course, we are crying collective tears, hot lava tears streaming down our cheeks. And crying can be so therapeutic to release those toxins, to purge those emotions, to grieve. So obviously we have to permit ourselves to grieve. But our hot lava tears are not going to be enough to quench our parched selves, our parched collective, our parched earth. So while, yes, we have to lean in towards life, we also have to lean in towards one another. We have to lean in towards what is scathing us, what is too hot. I see this figure balanced beautifully on a tiptoe. As a ballerina, that's probably such a beautiful gift to be able to be suspended like that. But we can't tiptoe through these hot coals. They're not going to go away, even if we try to make it to the other side unscathed. It's too late. Our anxieties and our fears and atrocities are here. Some of them new, some of them just continuing to be repeated over and over again as the human drama continues to play out on our stages. And while we can't address all of these swords, like I said, there's so much that's pressing. We have to start somewhere. I kind of chuckled when this Knight of Pentacles showed up because, again, such a different depiction of the Knight of Pentacles. Where's the horse? Where's the pentacle? This knight is holding a big sword, wielding a sword that might even be too big too unwieldy, but has to be held out in front anyway. And this is recalling for me, just, I think it was last week when we were looking at the Three of Swords card, and I said that the message coming through was it was time to remove those swords, but to keep one to fight with, to keep one because that warrior heart where that anger and that rage can fuel advocacy. Here it is again. One of these has to be addressed, because if we address nothing, if we continue to numb out, zone out, to just keep the status quo, this won't be lessened. It just won't. We have to be addressing. We have to be opening our eyes. We have to be feeling that hot blast from those coals against our skin. We have to open those eyes because Spirit is saying, the mission is not to just keep your personal sacred flame tended to stoke those eternal sacred fires within us all. We have to stoke and tend to the sacred flame of the earth. We have to, so that it can be eternal. And it's going to require so much innovation, so much forward thinking. We have the star here, a nod to Aquarius. Having that bird's eye view, seeing all the possibilities, probably seeing how the web is all interconnected. A lot of times we see the star card and we just feel the balm. The naked figure dipping a toe in water, the healing waters, divine as a bird perched on a tree beside. Again, we have this cosmic look. This is not just about our personal healing mission. This is larger than that. This is zoomed out. This is so macro. And back to that night when we think of the Knight of Pentacles, we think of, that steady, calm, practical knight on their horse, centering, aiming, making happen when it needs to be happen, stepping forward, moving the horse when it's time. This figure is already off the horse. It's so urgent that who knows where that horse is, hopefully getting a cool drink of water somewhere while our alien friend is walking forward. Walking forward. So I went to another deck and pulled 3 cards because I know it's overwhelming when we were talking about those 10 swords and you're like, yeah, Jess, I hear you saying pick up one, use one for advocacy. How exactly do I get started when I'm just feeling all those hot lava tears and I'm feeling and sensing those swords and it just feels like too much? I need some more direction. I don't have all the answers. I frankly don't have any answers right now, but what I do have is access to a whole bunch of tarot and oracle decks, and sometimes that is something, and here's what came forward. So let's try to personalize this a little bit for you. Again, saying 1, right? Let's start with one thing right now whenever you're watching this message, whatever atrocity and horror is like weighing most on your heart right now, or is the most personal for you and your family and community. That's the sword. That's the sword. Are you called to card 1, card 2, or card 3? For just a little extra guidance for this moment. Card 1. Party leader. You're going to have to be the one with the megaphone. You're going to have to be the one that is going to start using that extroverted platform that you have. Whatever platform you have where people are listening to you, whether that's a living room, social media, your workplace, an organization, wherever it is that you have your loudspeaker, you need to amp it up. People are listening to you. People watch you. You have leadership qualities. Use them. Use them. If you picked card 2, the sheep who wandered and found a different shepherd. There's some change that can be made right now. Maybe that's where you're directing your dollar. There's a big business or a patterning that is not healthy and helpful for you and your neighborhood or the people across the globe. There's some change that you can make. You need to follow that. With all the technology, thinking about Aquarius, thinking about the star, right? That can be a nod to technology and forward thinking. Find a creative way to do something different. Something that's green, something that's meaningful, something that changes your lifestyle for the better. So you're going to have to look closely at where you are putting your time and your energy and your money, probably your money right now, and see what kind of changes you can make. Because this party leader is leading with voice and platform. This leader is leading with where they're going to place their money. Money talks. And justice. Who are you going to call? Who can you call? Who can you contact? Who can you rally? Who can you organize? Where do you need to show up? I mean, it's amazing how, I guess it's not amazing because I continue to be humbled and sometimes brought to my knees by the cards that that step forward and show up for the questions that are on my heart, the questions of the seekers that I work with. Time and time again, I am blown away by what comes forward, and just looking at those hot lava tears and our collective grief, and so much is burning, literally and figuratively. So much is burning. We got Fire Mother for all of us. And here we have like a phoenixy animal protecting its precious eggs, knowing that tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Protecting, we must protect one another. We must protect our resources. And we all have a responsibility to do that in the small and big ways that we can today and tomorrow. And whenever this message finds you, this message is applicable. Find at least one sword. Cry those tears. They're hot for a reason. You know where your rage could be directed. Pick up that sword. Take a step forward. Thanks for being here. If you feel called to, I'd really appreciate any likes, comments, subscribing, sharing, whatever you can do to help this little channel grow wings. I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you for seeing me too. Till next time. Tweet, tweet.